Good morning.
Good morning, Rory. Finally.
How are you, my friend?
Fine. And you?
I'm good. Actually, I had the same problem this morning when I went to log on at 9 o'clock. My camera wouldn't log on, and I lost 15
Ah,
minutes. So
really?
I don't think you're alone this morning in this problem.
Actually, I'm so sorry. First of all, I changed my computer. I'm now connecting with a different computer.
Mm-hmm.
The other one couldn't be reached, couldn't be connected.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I will check later. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I changed the computer. Now we can continue. I hope you have time.
Yep. Slide number 7.
Okay.
Let's take a look. Okay.
Vocabulary practice.
Mm-hmm.
Complete the sentences with the vocab on the left. Okay. Agenda, show on hands, brief, feedback, touch base. Show on hands means show what you have, like
Show of
poker.
hands.
Show hands.
Yeah.
Raise your hand.
Exactly.
Okay. What about touch base?
Okay. So as a manager, you will probably say to one of your staff, "Can you do this? Find out about this piece of information. And when you do, let's touch base. Let's get together."
Okay. Come together. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's check the sentences. I will kick off this meeting by going over the agenda.
Agenda.
Okay. Can I get a for who will be available on the weekend? Can I get a brief? Can I get a brief for who?
No,
No,
no.
will be available on the weekend?
Okay, so he's asking.
Okay. Show of hands.
Perfect, my friend.
Can I get a
Perfect.
show of hands for who will be available on the weekend? Okay. Tell me who will be available. Okay.
Yeah.
He wants to get some feedback from a focus group. Okay, information. This meeting will be touch base.
No, this meeting
No.
will be brief,
Brief?
short.
Short. Okay. This meeting will be brief since I will with you individually this week. I will touch base with all of you.
Individually this week.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I will be together with all of
Yep.
you individually
it's-
this week.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Okay, happy enough?
I think
Yes?
so. Okay.
Okay,
Touch base and show of hands. New
Yeah.
words for me.
Perfect. Actually, touch base, you will probably, maybe you could find yourself hearing that sometimes, in a conference call, maybe the manager.
Maybe.
So it's the American synonymous to do with baseball. They touch base in order to win the game of baseball, and this is how it came in.
Okay. Collaborate, decide, update. Okay, collaborate, working together, cooperation, or joining or matching.
Exactly.
Not matching, joining together. Decide, giving a decision. Update, we know, updating an information.
Perfect.
To bring the information with a new data.
Yes, new
Okay.
information, new data.
Meetings are a great way for employees to collaborate on ideas, for management to relay decisions, or for clients or vendors to get updates. Okay. How often do you attend meeting? How often are they in English? Generally, twice a week I have meeting, and once a month or twice a month in English.
Okay.
How formal are the meetings you usually attend? Are they with colleagues or with people from outside your business, such as clients or suppliers? Actually, if we have a meeting with a client, and if this client is a corporate company, yes, meetings are a little bit formal. But generally, in 21st century, none of, even it's the biggest company in the world, I believe no one make formal meetings, because formal situations squeeze people psychologically and avoid them to share their ideas, to share their opinions. So, especially for last decade, companies try to make people comfortable, So try to make people to share their ideas freely. So I didn't actually remember a formal meeting that I participated last 2-3 years or maybe 10 years.
Right. And can you often see that if, because let's say you're in a conference call with 10 other people, I think you're a confident man, so I think it won't affect you. But I suppose for some people this can be nerve-wracking, or they're afraid to say, even though they may have an idea, maybe they feel that they can't bring it forward because they're...
Actually, if I manage the meeting and if I realize someone feel uncomfortable or nervous or try to be formal, I just, before starting the meeting, I just try to relax him or her. To make some jokes or to tell him directly, do not need to be nervous, so this is just a meeting to share information. So I try to people relax. First, you have to earn their trust if you want to work with them as a team. Otherwise, if they're afraid from you, they can't tell you everything. If they're not so sure 100%, probably they won't share with you. If they're afraid from you or from your position or from your title. So in the beginning, if I realize some people are nervous, so I try to tell them jokes, tell them to be relaxed, try to be friendly, and try them to open their mind 100%.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. This is my style of management. Maybe wrong, maybe right. I don't know.
Well, I think you seem to be reasonably successful, so it seems to be working, my friend. Whatever you're doing, keep continuing to do it, and you will retire a young man.
Okay, what kind of meetings are they? Sales meetings, briefings, negotiations? Actually, all kind of. I'm working for a company which is distributing products, and we are working with dealers. We have our dealers, some of them exclusive dealers, some of them mixed, and we are running B2B business. So generally, we have meetings with our dealers, and it's including the meetings, including sales informations. It's about selling something, sometimes negotiation because of price or delivery conditions or some commercial issues, and sometimes it includes briefings about the market, because you have to talk with your local dealers to get more information about local markets. Each places, each cities are different. So the behavior of clients are different. So you have to collect more information about local people, and you should create your strategy due to these local expectations. You shouldn't approach with the same way to each people. You should approach one by one, individually.
So when COVID-19 came in, or coronavirus, presumably you had to review your strategies and touch base with a lot of your suppliers and things like this, right?
Yes. And even if you have a negotiation with your vendors, with your sources, which you buy some service or products, each company has different cultural backgrounds and habits and procedures. So you have to be flexible. You have to shape your size, shape your body to understand each other. I love very good suggestion from Bruce Lee. You know, Bruce Lee. He always suggests his students be like water. So
adapt
you can
and change.
Yes, adapt. You can shape during the fight. Do not think techniques. Do not plan what you are going to do in next steps. If you need to just beat your opponent with your teeth, just beat it. Not try to use different kung fu techniques at that moment, if you think the best solution is just using your teeth, just teeth, just use teeth. So and another example, dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were the strongest species in the world, but they disappeared, they vanished, they lost, because they didn't have flexibility. Humans are different from other animals, not just having conscience, not just having mind, also using its conscience to flexible, to adapt. That's why we cover ourselves from natural disasters, natural events, so live on the earth maybe more than million years. I don't know, or 1,000 years, but we are still alive, and the stronger species lost.
Because they didn't adapt, and we do.
They didn't adapt, and we do. So this is so important. So as a manager, as a company runner, I know, of course, you have your own principles. You have your own red lines. You shouldn't cross over. Okay, but it doesn't mean that having principles means you cannot change anything. Sometimes you have your wrong principles, or how can I describe the word in English? Opposite of update, the old one, ancient.
Ancient
or old, or demode. You know demode?
Yes.
So maybe your principles was right 10 years ago, but today could be wrong. So you should change.
I seen an example of that. I think in Britain there was a large chain of stores that was very successful in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. So successful that they thought they didn't need to adapt or move with the times, and they didn't provide online services where you could buy online from their shops. And by the time we came into the 2000s and 2010, 15, all of their shops is now closed. The business ceased to exist because they didn't adapt. They thought they were that powerful and strong. They didn't need to. But then you have the likes of Amazon.
Actually, I think 4 or 5 days ago, I read a tweet message from a very, very important CEO in Turkey. He wrote down that a new era is coming because of this corona incidents. People started to work from home, and maybe in the future, maybe we learn something from this corona incidents, and human resources shape themselves. And I laughed, and I get angry, and I react him. Come on, man, didn't you read any science fiction novel from your life? You don't need a coronavirus incident to realize something. You should think about this 20 years ago, when internet was invented. It's just started working from home, working from long distance. It's not something new. And this guy is very, very important CEO, maybe the top 3 companies of Turkey. And he just read, oh, thank God we learned something from coronavirus. Human resources should shape themselves. People in near future can work at home. People started working from home 20 years ago.
That's correct. Yeah, exactly.
And if you read some science fiction novels from 1950s, 1960s, you should already known this. You should have already known this. Anyway, and this guy become CEO because he didn't invent the company. He just take responsibility, take in charge from his father.
Right. You see that a lot, don't you? A father or someone who creates a business and hands it down isn't always the best move, right? Because maybe the son or the daughter has had a reasonably luxurious lifestyle, so they may lack hunger, ambition that the father or mother, whoever built the company from scratch. Not in all cases, but certainly in Ireland, where I'm from, small businesses where you might have 30 staff, and it's a natural progression from father to son. It's unusual in my experience to see the son as hungry as what the father was, or as ambitious. Maybe, I guess it's not in every case, but at times, no.
Yes, 100% right. 100% you're right. And also, if the son didn't come from the kitchen, the source, with his limited information, he or she cannot manage the company properly. Of course, there is opposite examples, but generally, new generation cannot manage companies properly like their fathers.
For example, I guess you were covering your bases, your options by doing industrial engineering plus computer programmer. I guess this gives you an advantage over a single industrial engineer or you had both.
Yes, and one of my important hobbies, reading science fiction, writing science fiction, not only reading, and also I like to read detective stories like Sherlock Holmes and try to solve problems with small details, taking care of some information, subliminal informations. So besides my education, I have also some hobbies which developed my business, developed my vision to look future.
Yeah, so you're reading Sherlock Holmes, trying to solve cases and crime by small details, which is the same way of running a business successfully. You have to watch the minor details to see the bigger picture, right?
Yes, and simplifying the huge projects, divided these huge projects to small parts, simple parts, and one by one, when you reach each step, in total, you can cover all projects. And it's very important skill, being able to divide huge project to small parts, or huge problems to small parts, or huge targets to small steps.
Yeah, you can't be taught that. There's some of what you do, you just cannot be taught that in a university. It's about the character of the person and their personality,
Yes. I believe it. So
yeah, to me, there are two types of people in the world. There are people like you, who will always strive for ambition to be successful, and then people a bit like me. I'm always content to work for somebody else. It's not that I'm not ambitious. It's just I don't think I have.
It's not ambitious to reach success. If you find ambitious about anything you would like to do, this is the success. If you love your work, if you love your business, if you can see it's not a business, it's a lifestyle. If you can transform your business to your hobby, then success will come automatically. This is the most important thing. If I don't like to do something, I never try to do. But if I like something, I will go to the end.
Yeah, 100% commitment to that project.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I understand. Okay.
So
okay, slide number 9, or we're going to never
try
finish.
to find something to love. Let's continue. Vocabulary practice. She will go over her idea during the meeting.
A proposal.
Okay, read each sentence, then rephrase the sentence using the word in bold. Okay. She will go over her idea during the meeting. Proposal. It's hard. Okay, she will go over her idea during the meeting. Should I change one word? For example, instead of idea, I should put proposal, or I should create a different sentence?
You can certainly do that. Change idea to proposal. She will go over her proposal during the meeting.
Yes.
So she can.
Also, maybe we can say she proposed something during the meeting.
Yeah, she's going to introduce her proposal during the meeting.
Okay. Is everyone clear on what they should do? Is everyone clear on their task?
Exactly. Is everyone clear on the task they should do?
What are going to work together on this project? We are going to work together on this project. For this project, we will collaborate.
Exactly. Or we're going to
Are
collaborate
we going to
together on this
collaborate together
project.
on this project? Okay.
Perfect.
The goal of this meeting is to reach a conclusion about the new bylaws. But what is bylaws?
Bylaws are secondary laws introduced by government. So maybe you have certain legislation within your company to do with pollution, environment, things like this.
Okay. We called it official statement or official notice.
Yeah.
The goal of this meeting is to reach a conclusion about the new bylaws. The goal of this meeting is to make decision about new bylaws.
Yeah.
About the new bylaws.
It's perfect.
Okay, continue.
Okay. Perfect.
Meeting productivity. Oh. Average business meetings last about an hour. However, many employees complain that that time is not well spent. 1 hour is a long time.
Is it a long time? Yes.
Yes.
How long was your meeting last night?
We couldn't make this meeting because my boss didn't come. By the way, he's the son of the inventor of the company.
Oh, he's the son.
Anyway, I need to shut my mouth.
Okay, so how much time do you spend in meetings
20
during a
minutes
typical week?
maximum.
20 minutes.
20,
Okay.
20. The subject, the case, the solution, the ideas. 20 minutes, then go forward. Then, if we need, we will come together to have another 20 minutes meeting. 1 hour is
Right.
too long to talk, to discuss. But if you don't have preparations, 1 hour sometimes cannot be enough. So before meeting, you have to be prepared. You have to read your documents. You have to write down your notes. The main items you have to discuss. And no need to be so polite. No need to start with an opening speech to calm down people. Long opening speech. Come on, let's come to the conclusion. Let's come to the real idea, main idea. Tell directly. I believe direct speech. Directly tell what you want. Enough. Do not
Perfect.
need to talk about the history of the world. The world was a huge ball in a fire, started. Okay, come on, guy. We all know this. Let's continue. How much time do you spend in meeting during a typical week? How effective is that time? 20 minutes, very effective. Maximum. And sometimes I don't prepare or I don't organize a meeting. If I want to tell something to my employees, I just call them in open office. Come on, guys, let's come. Just give me 5 minutes. I need to announce something to you or discuss something to you. No need to go to a meeting room to open slides, computers. No, come on, let's come. In the middle of office, let's discuss. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, okay, we will continue like that. Okay, go back to your work.
Okay, so like just a 5 minutes brainstorming and then leave.
Yes. And always, I do this always. When I try to make important decisions, I always try to ask my colleagues. Because one brain is okay, but more brain would be more effective, much more powerful. Who do you meet with most often for work? My colleagues, customers, vendors, dealers.
Okay. Do you have a one person go to out of, like, is there somebody that you would always check an idea with them? Although you're the boss, the final decision lies with you, but is there one person that you always
Actually, not one person. It depends on the subject.
Right.
For example, I have my former general manager. Now he's retired, over 60, age of 60s. Still, we have a relation with him, and actually, once in a 15 days, once in a 20 days, I visit him just to have a dinner, just to drink coffee together and discuss about my problems in the business.
So he's like a confidant. He's like a confidant.
No, we are like brothers, and there is no confidence. Of course, I don't share very restricted confidence information with anyone. But sometimes, if it's not so confidential, to ask his opinion, to ask his suggestion, yes. But sometimes my wife is an interior architect. She has a very good vision of designing, and when I try to prepare a presentation, very colorful, and try to attract other people, I ask help from her because his Photoshop usage or 3D Studio Max or AutoCAD skills are better than me. So I ask her to help me. My father, very important economist and political scientist. So for general conditions about the economy or government behavior, I always ask him.
Which is probably the reason for your success, is it not? That you don't have this mantle where you think I'm the big boss, everything I do should. You actually, it's the opposite. You speak to everyone. You gather everybody's opinions, and maybe this is one of the reasons that you're so successful.
I don't know. I'm so successful. Probably no. But until this day, if I survive, yes, I try to always find the perfect answer, perfect solution, but also in short time. Sometimes you should trust your instincts as a manager, because you educate, you train yourself in years. So sometimes without detailed information, detailed data, you just feel, not, of course, it's not a feeling, it's a logical decision, but you have this, you have already this logical decision when you just face the problem. And you know what you should look, you know what you should search. So not asking everyone, okay, this is the kind of problem like that, I have the solution, but I need to check just this point from library or from this guy or from this website to be sure and continue. But sometimes I gave bad decisions, and if I feel, and if I'm not so sure about decisions, even if I, because of the time pressure, even if I give this decision, sorry, when I find time later, I check myself. And if I need to change my decision, I just try to put some breakpoints. For example, if I need to buy a huge bulk of products, but I'm not sure, so I try to split this bulk, small pieces. Okay, let's buy the first party, but during this time, let me check my decision.
Right. Okay.
Not to trash all of them. If I
So
need to lose,
reevaluate.
yes, reevaluate my decision, and if I need to change, I will change. I should change. Just to be sure 100%. This is my style. Because sometimes you need to give decision without data, without any information, because of time pressure.
Yeah, a gut. Sometimes it has to be in your gut, a gut decision. In English, we say.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. When and where do you meet?
Sorry, what?
When and where do you meet? In an office, a boardroom?
Wherever I find comfortably. Boardroom, office, sometimes on the phone, sometimes the place in customers' place. I prefer visiting customers face to face and have a meeting in their places. I want them to feel comfortable. I want them to feel that they manage the meeting.
Yes. All right. Okay. That they matter massively to you and your company.
I let them to feel that they are in charge of.
Yes. Okay. That's a good idea. Okay. Could you make your work meetings more time effective? Well, you've already told me 20 minutes maximum. Okay.
Yes.
And what makes a meeting productive?
Preparation. If you have really important incident or important issue, then you should make a meeting. Not to have a meeting to say people, oh, we have a meeting. Today's business time, whenever I call someone by phone, oh, he is in the meeting, she's in the meeting. Come on, when he is working, when he works.
My friend, I have to stop you. 7 seconds until tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Have a good day.
Good
Take
day.
care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.